Hello everyone, this is Teripper, and today we are playing some Chivalry Medieval Warfare, but you will probably notice that I am not stuttering and stumbling along because I'm not actually playing. This is a post-game commentary, mostly because I accidentally muted my mic during the gameplay, but it's going to be a lot better of a video for it. So, let's jump right into the meat, why don't we? I have two shoutouts to do at the very beginning. The first I am doing not because anyone asked me, but because I think that the video is amazing. And the second one, because I like to support any kind of chivalry endeavor. I love the game. So the first is a montage made by our good friends at Tempest. I mean, really, Tempest is friends of everybody. Even if you get beaten by them, they're a great team, great bunch of guys. And it's up on Omega's channel. I'm going to put a link to that montage up. It's called Finale, and it's called that for a reason. I think, I didn't really ask them about it, but I think it's going to be the last montage they do for Chivalry, and I believe they are getting out of the competitive scene for good at this point in time. And this is a big step for Chivalry's comp scene, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but first and foremost, check out that montage. It's so cool. If you're still into Chivalry, it's definitely worth the watch. I highly recommend it. And that's my first little shout out. Again, links in the description. The second one is for a team on Xbox One, a competitive Chivalry team called SDS Knights, and they have a YouTube channel of some of their practices, some of their games, and that is also going to be linked in the description. I highly recommend you guys check it out. The video quality could perhaps be better, but if you guys play on Xbox One, definitely check them out, hit them up. I know that they are wanting, they want some exposure, and I'm trying to give them that. And I know I've been getting a lot of comments from people who play on Xbox One who want me to play. That's not going to happen for me, sadly. I don't own a console. I don't plan on owning one anytime soon. I got to upgrade my computer first and foremost. But there's always people who play on other consoles. So definitely check these guys out. They're called SDS Knights. Once again, link in the description. Those are the two little shout-outs. Rest of the video, I'm really just going to be talking about random stuff, but mostly about things that you guys care about, hopefully. First and foremost, the competitive scene for Chivalry. This is a big thing I try to keep abreast of, more or less, being part of MGA. I kind of have to. In terms of the North American competitive scene, it's almost completely dead. And it pains me to say that, and I'm sure some people will want to argue, and could successfully argue, that there is a competitive scene. I'm not in a comp team anymore. I don't have my head against the heartbeat of the scene. But I know for a fact that it is not at all what it used to be. And even what it used to be a couple of weeks ago. And effectively what I'm saying is, you guys, anyone who keeps up with the competitive scene knows that the NA Heavy tournament from MGA was cancelled, I believe last week, in reference to this video. And that's kind of the first, or perhaps last nail in the coffin. We'll see. I don't think the NA comp scene really has much left in it. And I'm not surprised. We have given it so much. We've given this game so much. So many teams have given so much more than I have ever given to the NA comp scene, and I thank them heartily for it. We've had some great tourneys, some great games, some great players, some great teams. Really, great all around. I can't wait to see him in games like Mordau Mirage, which I'll also talk about later in the video. But this is kind of a sort of send-off for the Shiv NA comp scene. In terms of the EU comp scene, I think they're doing okay. We had a 2v2 tournament for them a little while ago. That went pretty well, actually. That was a little bit lower production value on MGA's end, our end, but I thought it was a fantastic tournament. I thought it was really fun. And honestly, I don't think the production value suffered enough to really make a huge difference. That's just my opinion, obviously. I'm not a market analyst. But I thought it was good. So the EU comp scene, I don't have my finger on the pulse of that. I don't even have my ear 100 feet away from the pulse of that scene, so I have no idea. The AU comp scene, I think, is doing pretty good, honestly. But again, they're on the other side of the world compared to me, so I can't actually speak to that. Anyway, that's the state of the Shiv comp scenes as far as I know it. If anyone wants to bring any dissenting opinions, any comments to the comments, go ahead and leave some. By all means, I love discourse. I love discussion. And I think we'll let's put Shiv let's put Shiv as an idea to the side for a second. Let's talk about something that's within Shiv. Let's talk about my server a little bit. Now, this is going to sound a bit like advertising. It's really not. I don't make money on the server. It's maintained by MGA, but that's about it. I have to do most of the map downloading and stuff like that. Sin does a lot of moderating, and so does Shiv. And there's really been no reason to play on that server for the most part. It plays all the normal maps. The map list is janked up. There's no message of the day. There's no active mods. I totally understand that. But I'm going to try to change that. I'm going to try to do some work on it. I want to make the map list all newer maps. Maps that are only, like, on the top of the workshop. No vanilla maps other than maybe Stones Hill, Dark Forest, you know, basics. But, you know, maps that are awesome. We recently played a map on my server, I believe called Parodin. I could have that completely and utterly wrong. Actually, I have the workshop up right here. Why don't I search for it? But we played on a map from the workshop that was incredible. And I had people telling me that they want to play this all the time. And I agree with them. It was such a good map. Maps that are just really solid and cool are absolutely worth playing on a specific server for. I should know. I've played Dank Manor on the Moorland server all the time. I think they are kind of trying to do that now, and they have a pretty good player base on that server. They have active mods and admins, so I don't blame them at all. And I'm going to try to do that for my server. I want a place where you guys can play around both casually, hardcore. I'll make some really cool dual maps available in there. So basically, I want to try to make it a little more active. You can join the Steam group in the description to check out Sub Sundays in the future. Also, any details with the server, if you want to talk about maps you'd like to see in it, join that Steam group and make a post in the forum or discussion page, I believe. And check that out. And of course, the server name will be in the description. I may end up changing that soon, but keep an eye on it. I'll try to keep it as up to date as possible. So that's a little plug for my server. I wanted to just let you guys know that I'm trying to make it as appealing as possible to everyone, hopefully. But you can't please everyone in the end. And I think that's the perfect segue to my next point. Shiv ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last in games. Ain't gonna last on this channel. It's gonna last for a while longer. I don't disagree with that. I know you guys found me for Shiv. You like me for Shiv, probably for the most part. And hell, I love Shiv. All right, it's a great game. But at the same time, I hate it. I think for the same reasons everyone's generalizing. For the same reasons most people hate it. It is a game that relies so much on certain ways of playing that just don't feel right. And throughout this whole duel video that you're watching right now, I have to use those tactics. Other people use those tactics on me. Not feigning so much as just the spinning and the silliness and the stupidity when there's no stupidity involved. If I'm in a Teamspeak with someone and I'm spinning around, it's funny. It's cool. But if I'm just dueling with someone, it can get frustrating. And I'm dueling Bispo Bapkins. And those Danax drags, it looks like it's going through Jello. It's silly. So, enough about that little rant. That's just my little rant. That's totally irrelevant. I will probably keep playing Shiv for the foreseeable future until Mordau comes out, like a direct upgrade, quote-unquote. But Shiv will always be Shiv. We know that. However, right now I kind of want to get into some other games I might be playing in the future. I think I mentioned these in a video I put out just a couple weeks ago, like The Future, or was it The Future Show, or something like that. And I wanted to mention some of the games that I am thinking of getting into over the next year or so, depending on when some of them come out. First and foremost, For Honor looks really cool. If any of you have watched the E3 footage, I'll try to link footage or some trailer or something for all of the games I'm talking about right now. But anyway, For Honor, it looks really good. It looks beautiful. The combat is very different from Chivalry. It's much simpler, but it's a little bit more visceral. And that's weird to say. In fact, you know what? No, that's incorrect. It's not a little more visceral. It is much more cinematic. Let's go with that. Yeah. Chivalry has the most visceral melee combat I've ever seen, but For Honor has some of the most cinematic. Everything's choreographed, but it's choreographed really beautifully. You feel like you have impact with every strike, and it doesn't take too many strikes to take down an opponent. It's great. Also, you can't reverse overhead, which is nice. It is a target lock-on system, so, you know, that's its own kind of thing. But all in all, it should be a really fun game. That's all that matters to me, if it's fun. And, you know, hell, I'm going to have fun with it. Hopefully it comes out in the next year or so, so I actually can. That's For Honor. And then Bannerlord. I've been talking a lot about Bannerlord because Bannerlord is so beautiful. I love Mountain Blade Warband, but it has so many problems. The siege system sucks. The combat system is a little bit floaty sometimes, but I like it. It's decent. There's a lot of imperfect systems within the single player and multiplayer as well that I would like to see changed and that I think they are changing, but there's so many cool things they're adding to the single player, and I'll make sure to add a cool video of Bannerlord in the description because it is looking so damn good. And I'm definitely going to pick that up. Definitely going to do some kind of single-player playthrough. It's going to be awesome, as well as some multiplayer, of course. Next up, Mirage. You guys have been asking me a bit about Mirage. I got a question a couple days ago if I'd heard of it. Of course I have. It's made by the same people who made Chivalry. And I watched the E3 footage for that game as well. Watched a lot of E3 footage. And it's looking really good. I don't know that I'm personally going to have fun with it, but I'm almost certainly going to buy it. Because, you know, I love Chivalry. I love its developers. A lot of people think they just completely left the game in a state of total deadness. But that's in the eye of the beholder, right? They made a lot of bad decisions with patches. I will admit that. I will certainly admit that. But they have been patching the game. This is what are we at, like 4 years now? This is a pretty good lifespan for a game. Titanfall lasted like a year. It's ridiculous. But I digress. Mirage looks like it's going to be a really cool game. I don't think most of the same people are going to move from Chivalry to Mirage. I think it's going to be a whole new crowd, but I think there's going to be a lot of people, because it's got a lot of casual appeal. The people that are playing Overwatch, Battleborn, games like that, sort of MOBA-likes, are probably going to really enjoy it. And I can appreciate that. Mordau. This is the 8 billion pound elephant sitting right next to Chivalry. So Mordau, I'm not gonna go too far with the Mordau. You guys know it's gonna be my baby, and it is gonna be my game. I'm gonna play the shit out of it. That is gonna be the new Shiv in a year or so. I really hope. There's so little that the developers can do to fuck it up, but there's always the off chance. So that's Mordau. You guys know my spiel on that already. I've got the videos out, the dev blogs I've talked over. Yeah. And then, last but certainly not least, we got Kingdom Come. Now, I think I did a video, I may have done a video or two on this game. Yeah, I did a video or two on this game. However, I haven't done more because it is ridiculously system intensive. It requires a very powerful machine. I don't have that machine yet. I'm going to be upgrading my graphics card within the next couple months, imminently. And as a result of that, I will almost assuredly be able to max the crap out of this game. That's all I'll be saying. And for Kingdom Come, if it turns into the game I want it to be, which is kind of like a first-person low magic Witcher, I mean, I don't really care what it is. It looks beautiful, and it's got really complex swordplay. What more do you want? I'll just play the crap out of it. I'll probably make a Let's Play of it or something along those lines. I'm sure you guys would enjoy that. There is going to be no multiplayer for it, as far as I know. I think I talked to the PR guy for the game a little while ago, and he said there would be no multiplayer. They may change that, they may not. I highly doubt they will end up being able to do multiplayer because of the complexity of the combat system. In Shiv, there is a clear progression from novice to expert. In Kingdom Come, it's kind of exponential. You go many hours, from my experience, you go many hours not knowing what the hell you're doing, and then it clicks, and then you become a monster. That's been my experience, though. You know, to each their own. And go figure. Those are just 5 of the games I'm considering dabbling in the next year or so. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do check out all those links in the description. There are a lot of them. And thank you guys for watching. I shall see you kind people next time.